Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading. It is new moon still, we're in that energy. So I thought today would be an appropriate day to have a look at the reign of King Charles III. Finally, and I think we're almost through, if not we officially we are through the mourning period, so back to business for everyone, basically, for him included. They're sitting with the red box and the papers, and I have the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot on the table. It is a normal Rider-Waite tarot deck, so just a very uncomplicated reading, a 7-card reading. And we'll have a look at a signifier for him as king. We'll have a look at strengths and weaknesses. And we'll have a look at the length of his reign. Somebody asked me a while back to do a reading on whether he would ever be king, but that was already after the Queen had passed. Apparently an astrologer said he would never be king a long time ago. And of course he has a difficult chart. There are some difficulties in his chart, but he is king. He is technically king. So that ship has sailed, but we'll have a look at how long his reign may be. It's difficult to tell time from tarot really, but we'll see what the cards want to tell us, and whether he might abdicate at some point. People speculate he's got health issues, things like that. So we try and find out, and then see how people felt about him before, and what kind of legacy he might leave at the end of his reign. I did a reading on similar questions a very long time ago on this channel. It's there in the royal playlist. I can't remember what number it is now. I'm looking out the window as I'm shuffling this and seeing Fluffy scurrying along. It's just started to rain and she's scurrying along, come back inside. And meanwhile the dog is trying to squeeze his way through the cat flap to get out. So we might have to have a little pause to do some opening and closing of doors. Hope not. And let's get the cards out anyway, and if I have to quickly dash off and open sesame, then I will. But anyway, there are the 7 cards. We're looking at the reign of King Charles III. We are using the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, and the underlying energy of this reading is the Justice card in reverse. He may be, this is just the underlying energy. It's not the signifier for the reading for himself. He may be beset by legal problems with the Justice card in reverse. And no surprise, because we know what's going on with the Harkles and all the court cases that they are involved in. There is, there's the never-ending security litigation involving the government. It's now his government. It's now his problem, King Charles. There might be issues, lingering issues from things like money that came from somewhat dodgy sources. I'm not saying for 1 second, I've never believed that he pockets it himself and, is dodgy that way. But maybe because he's so eager to further certain causes that he feels very passionate about, might look the other way in terms of where things have come from. I'm just speculating. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I always say with Charles, I don't have strong feelings either way. I don't love him, I don't hate him, and it actually makes my life easier as a reader, because I don't have a vested interest in the outcome of any of this. I'm just literally saying whatever comes into my mind when I see that Justice card in reverse. Justice in reverse is something being unfair, also bad karma. He might be dealing with legacy issues that come, and again, Harry and Meghan, legacy issues that come from the previous reign and that are passed on to him almost as family karma. I don't know why I'm saying that. And we get the Wallace and David, Edward, whatever you want to call him, situation that always, I always think that was the big stain for the Queen. For Queen Elizabeth, the big difficulty in her life. And I always feel with Harry and Meghan that it's come around again. I'm not literally saying they're reincarnated, but that energy has come around again. There is something here about energy coming around again. that you might have thoughts on in the comments. Be interested to see what you have to say about that Justice card in reverse. It's difficult. I don't think this is going to be an easy reign. He's got a difficult chart. That astrologer definitely picked up on that. So let's see. Signifier for his reign. Well, that's interesting. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to be an easy reign. Well, take that back. 6 of Swords in reverse. A couple of things. Oof. I'm having this thing with throwing cards around at the moment. It's Mercury retrograde. Weird things happen to me when it's Mercury retrograde, and I do apologize when cards go flying in the air and I say strange things, more strange than usual as well. It does affect me quite badly. I'm just going to scooch the cards along a bit. There we go. So 6 of Swords is leaving difficulty behind, but it's come out in reverse. So difficulties, stuck in difficulties. So yeah, he's got his troubles. He's got his troubles, but troubles are coming towards him. The ones that went away are coming back. This is going to turn into a Harry and Meghan reading. The ones that he thought had gone away, that we all thought had gone away, good riddance. Wish them well with their life overseas, coming back. So there it is. It's just can't avoid it, even if I try and toss the card in the air and make it go upside the right way around. His problems are ongoing difficulties. This is not Tower, this is not death, this is not that level, but it's niggles, irritations, more than leaking pens. It is people that went away are coming back, problems that went away coming back. So yeah, he is going to have a difficult reign. This is not the country being in a difficult situation, I don't think. It's his own personal stuff. That is chickens coming home to roost. Rescue chickens coming home to roost. Oh dear. So his strengths, what's going to go his way? That's not a great card for a strength card. The 7 of Swords is the running away card, the ghosting card, the the doing dodgy things card. That really can't be his strength. It's quite funny though. What's coming to my mind with that card is that someone else's dodgy behaviour is going to shore him up. I told you it was going to be a Harry and Meghan reading. I really didn't actually feel like doing a Harry and Meghan reading, but let's remind you about the disclaimer in the box below, and that this is all speculation. This is all my opinion. I really have got the giggles doing this reading. Their bad behaviour is going to make the public feel more kindly towards King Charles than they might have. We're already seeing that. I think it's unexpected support coming in because everyone can see how badly they have behaved, how dreadful they are, how unreasonable they are and irrational and unfair. Justice card in reverse. We're dealing with unfairness to him personally, and people see it. People see it. This is a reading that's going to tell a little story. People see it and they don't like it. They see the way that the two of them did a runner, abandoned the royal family, and they don't like it. So that's a very odd strength to come through. Let's see what is going to be a problem for him, a weakness for him. And it's the King of Pentacles. And again, there is only one King of Pentacles that can possibly show up in this reading, and that's Harry. Earth sign man who wants to be king, and who really does want to be king. He hates being a royal, but he doesn't hate being a royal because he hates being a royal. He hates being a lesser royal. He wants to be top dog. A lot of people say, well, not a lot of people, but some people say that he's King Henry VIII. Same energy, reincarnated, cycling round. And back he comes, and he was the ginger, he was the brat, he was the second, got to be king, wants to be king, thinks he's king, that sense of entitlement that is so extraordinary and defies all odds, in my mind, and this really is my opinion, comes from ancient karma and sense of entitlement. And so he's dealing with that competition basically from his son. Some people might put son in inverted commas. We're not going there now, but he's definitely got a rival. And it's a rival that's in his family, that's always skulking and lurking and giving him filthy looks and won't sing God Save the Queen. God Save the King, sorry, Mercury retrograde, I'm going to say nonsense, just bear with me please. I've already had to restart this reading because my preamble, I said a whole lot of nonsense, so I had to start again. But this is Shakespearean level of lurking and giving filthy looks and muttering under breath. This is Hamlet. So now I'm lost my train of thought again. We're going to look at the next card now, and I have to look at my questions that I've written down, and luckily I always do write them down so that me and Universe can both know what's going on. And we're looking next at the length of his reign. This is going to be long, an Ace of Pentacles is going to be short and all over. It's going to be short and all over. We've got a 5. It could even be 5 years. And I don't want to upset people. I know when I did readings on the Queen's health that people got terribly upset. I don't want to be a bearer of bad news. But that card doesn't tell me this is going to be long. That card tells me it's going to be pretty tumultuous. And again, from a personal point of view, I don't think the country, well, we're all in sort of troubled times at the moment. Let's not kid ourselves. But this reading isn't telling me about the UK. I can do a separate reading on that, and I probably will. This is telling me about his own personal life, his family. There is going to be conflict. Yeah, we already have conflict. We have them up there coming back, trying to be king, trying to destabilize things because of this. I think it's an unconscious desire. I don't think he's that well versed in his own psychology and his own shadow. I don't think he's ever looked at his own shadow. This is my speculation about Harry, that he even knows how full of resentment and jealousy he is and entitlement. But there is the story and the unfairness that the public is seeing and have some sympathy for, because most families have a bad egg, someone who causes trouble. So that's, I think, one of the reasons why we're so fascinated by this meta story, because we all at some level can relate, whether it's in a family or a business, a work situation, wherever it is. We all have a wrong un that has done us harm. So 5 of Swords, a lot of conflict, a lot of difficulty that's facing him. And even though the person in the 5 of Swords wins, in the end, it's a hollow victory, it's a difficult victory, and it's going to be difficult for him. I'm sorry to see this reading coming out. It's a difficult energy today. This new moon energy is difficult. It's a scratchy energy. And I was prompted to do this reading. I was prompted to do it. So I'm just going to go with the scratchy energy. Let's just say that the energy today, I'm probably going to get the worst possible reading that I can for King Charles. So if you're a King Charles a supporter and you're upset right now, bear that in mind. Bear that in mind, that if I was in a really, really good mood and the cards were all singing or dancing or happy cards, because it is all about energy, this is the base of difficulty, that I could get a much happier reading, and I'm sure in general his reign is going to be that all singing, dancing. This is family stuff that for the most part is going to be parked somewhere where we can't see it. I hope that made sense. As I say, today is a particularly retrograde day. Will he abdicate? Yeah, looks like he could. That's a very, very clear indication of retiring. It does have an element of death. The 4 of Swords. defeat. It's defeat. But it's normally you're defeated and you go away, you're defeated and you go away, even though they're in the sort of descending order, 5 to 4. You put your sword away and you rest. You go away for healing, for contemplation, reflection. He might say after 5 years, I've had enough of this conflict and this battle and I can't do it anymore. My health isn't up to it. My energy levels aren't up to it. I'm handing on to somebody who is waiting in the wings and has had 5 more years to grow his family, to get used to the next level up, and then hand over to him. This is pretty interesting, this 4 of Swords to me. It's a pretty clear indication that he will at some stage decide to retire, to abdicate, to go live quietly somewhere, maybe back to his beloved Mercury retrograde. Again, I can't think for 1 second of the name of that place, Highgrove, with the lovely garden. And who can blame him with a garden like that? Yeah, I'd be there with my straw hat as well. And so yeah, it looks likely that this could all be over quite quickly. People's view of him before. Well, quite an interesting card. It's a card of fairness, being quite balanced. Somebody who's juggling things, somebody who has had a long wait, and so while he's waiting, spends his time on different things with that 2 of Pentacles. A bit of this and a bit of that, a bit of a dabbling energy coming from the card. Doesn't normally, but in that waiting time, oh, let me try this, oh, let me try that, and see how it goes. People deciding, not sure, blowing hot and cold. And as I say, a similar experience for me, that he's not someone that I'm wildly enthusiastic about, and it's also not someone that I loathe. So juggling, yeah, no. That kind of energy coming from that card. What's his legacy going to be? Very powerful, and I'm pretty sure that this card came up in the previous reading I did on him. It's a long time ago. I didn't want to go back and look at it. I didn't want to be influenced by it. So that's why I can't tell you what number it was. It's way back. But I have an idea that this same card came out as the legacy card. Very interesting. It's a very good card. Very, very good card. King of Swords. It's wise. For all this idea that he's persuadable, he's easily influenced, and gets some quite random ideas and strange ideas. He's going to be very fair, very just, very wise, dignified. It's a very dignified energy, the King of Swords. King of Swords doesn't I was going to say have tantrums. He's going to have tantrums. They all seem to have terrible temper issues in that family. Yeah, he's going to have tantrums, but he's not going to get embroiled in things. He's going to rise above it. Air sign, King of Swords, always rises above. Has more of that objective feeling, more of that Prince Philip feeling. Very intelligent, very good leader, King of Swords, a very good leader, somebody you can count on to steer the ship of state wisely, while things might be a bit troubled. So kingly energy is literally a king. You've only got 4 kings and the emperor. Emperor could have come up, but that he's not going to be king of kings. I'm sure we're going to see the Commonwealth dwindling under his reign, not through any fault of his own, but just because this is where we are in time and in history. But he's come up as a king, and that's laudable. That's very encouraging, because of the difficult circumstances here. We've got all swords, apart from the imposter, the one who wants to be king. all sorts here. We've got difficulty, we've got mental conflict. He's going to have to expend a lot of energy thinking about things, and ultimately he's going to retire to think about things. I'm sure he's got plenty of things he wants to think about, even random thought, but I'll say it because we're in Mercury retrograde, right things. He could actually, I'm getting a bit of a Bilbo energy, in the Lord of the Rings, sitting, writing what happened and leaving pages blank at the end for Frodo to take over and finish the story. Getting that idea that he might retire at some stage, go away and write his own book about what it was like. A completely random thought. But this is the reading. The Harkles are going to cause him some grief. But he's going to emerge from it intact, I think, with his integrity intact, and with a degree of respect. Not love necessarily. People aren't going to look back and say, oh, I really loved him. But they're going to respect him, they're going to admire him. They're going to know that he was a man of principle and honour and truth. So there it is. Thanks for watching as I struggled through it, and on to the next one.